We were taking casualties and needed crew chief and gunner replacements badly. We managed to get crew chiefs from the mechanics, but gunners just were not coming in. We even had ads out posted on bulletin boards everywhere we could put them, mostly around infantry outfits. Sleep every night on a cot in base camp, blah blah, no takers. I'm sure there were many good reasons for this. One was the infantry guys didn't want to leave their friends even though their duty was miserable. A matter of honor, I would say. Another was that for some reason infantry fellows did not like flying on helicopters. There was nowhere to duck behind a rock or tree or hide in a hole when the shooting started. Flying into a hot LZ was a nerve-wracking experience, like let me jump off and hit the ground. But Army aviation guys didn't have to sleep in the mud with the mosquitoes, leeches, snipers, landmines, and NVA-VC. We did work with the Australian Army from Nui Dat quite often, so we put up 128th AHC gunners wanted ad on their bulletin board. We had about 20 Aussie infantry volunteer right away as door gunners. The question was, could we have Australian gunners assigned to an American Army company? I don't know what the legal answer was, but I had an Australian gunner right away. My first Australian gunner was a 9-year enlisted fellow in the Australian Army. He was a thin fellow and seemed a little on the nervous side. Anyway, he was trained on the M60 and then sent to me as a door gunner. Right from the start, he kept jamming up his machine gun. He would get about 10 shots out coming into the LZ, and then that would be it. I talked to him about it and showed him how to do things and asked if he was airsick like I was when I started flying as a crew chief and kept jamming my M60 up. He said no, that he was fine. Well, his machine gun would jam up time and time again. This went on for 3 days. The pilots complained that he was jeopardizing us all by not shooting effectively. I knew this, of course, and told him he could not be the gunner on my helicopter. With tears in his eyes, he begged me to give him one more day as my gunner. I said, okay, one more day. He was good at taking apart the machine guns every day and cleaning them, so he was a competent guy. The next day it was the same. He kept jamming the machine gun up after a short burst. It was my estimation that he just got too shook up flying into hot LZs and his fright got the best of him. There were many an infantry fellow who was brave on the ground but could not handle sitting up in front of everyone shooting at him and shooting back properly. As a flight, we went through many a gunner and crew chief for that matter for that very reason. It was like suicide to many not to take cover when fired upon. I knew the feeling well. He was devastated that he could not make it as my gunner. I felt very sorry for him and told him to try again later as a gunner with the flight. At least he tried. After that, I had another Australian gunner named Gary Turner who was an excellent gunner. And then another Australian gunner named Ernie Sparham when Gary was done with his tour of Vietnam. Ernie was an excellent gunner. Ernie and I became the best of friends.